Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to Tech Talk number 9, I believe. Number 9 or number 10, I can't remember. Guys, today what am I gonna do? I'm going to install the i5 6600K to this motherboard. And I'm gonna install my Corsair Dominator 16GB 2666. But this is not the main topic. The main topic, guys, I'm gonna use this as a background for this talk. So I'm doing a live installation. You hear that? And what am I gonna talk to you guys about? It's what can go wrong when you're building a computer. Now this right here is a perfect example of what can go wrong. I had the Asus C97A with the 3.1 USB 3.1. I built my computer, I had everything ready to go. I installed Windows and everything, and my computer was good to go. I did my overclock. I overclocked the chipset using the 5-way optimization after installing Windows, after updating the BIOS and everything. And what happened is that, man, this is what I do all the time when I'm building a computer. I get the motherboard out, I get the pieces that I'm going to use, which is going to be the SATA cables, it's going to be the front I/O header connector, and I don't use that. This is the M.2 screws. The backplate of this motherboard is kind of cheesy, it's kind of cheap, so big thumbs down to Asus for that, but big thumbs up for this motherboard. Now this motherboard, guys, I built my customer, the computer that I built him, I use this motherboard. Very good motherboard, no issues whatsoever. Here's the SLI, which is ugly as hell. I really don't need this here because I already built a computer, so I know all about that. So let me put this back on the box. I'll just use I'll get out what I need from the case. Alrighty, I put everything back on the box. It was a little difficult. So guys, what you get, the things that can happen when you build a computer, when you're building a computer, it's that, number 1, you can have a bad motherboard. Number 2, you can have a bad CPU. Now right here's my i5 6600K. let me go ahead and install it. This is how I do it. This is what I do all the time. Many different things can happen when you build a computer. You can have a bad motherboard, you have a bad CPU. But let me go back to what I was saying. So I got my computer, I was doing the overclock, and the motherboard was very unstable. It would not boot up. This is how you get the chipset out. You get the chipset here. This is live installation, guys. But the main topic of this is what can happen, the things that can happen, the things that can go wrong when you're building a computer. It's that you can have something defective. Alright, here it is. We close it in. Boom. That's it. We got our i5 installed, our chipset. So what I did, I went back to Fry's Electronics. I tried to troubleshoot the computer. Of course I did. What I did is I test everything. I changed the settings, I changed everything, and make sure everything was connected. I make sure my power supply was connected. I was having issues, and the issues that I was having is the computer wasn't booting up. Okay, the computer was not booting up whatsoever. Let me put this back on the box. So there are a lot of things that can happen when you're building a computer, like I said. So my story is the computer wasn't booting up. I wasn't getting boot, I wasn't getting anything. So I set the computer, but I set the motherboard back to default settings, and the motherboard wasn't just booting up. I wasn't getting BIOS, I wasn't getting anything on my screen. I checked some forums online, what was happening. some people get that issue, and that has to do with a defective motherboard, and that really sucks. That is a waste of time, honestly, guys. And I said, you know what, I'm not going to deal with RMA because I really hate RMAs. So I went back to Fry's Electronics. I took everything out of the computer. I went to Fry's Electronics, and I returned everything. And I explained to that girl, you know what, the computer is not booting up, the system is not stable, I want store credit. And I want to buy something new, something that is stable. Now, the computer that I built to the customer, I used this motherboard and I used this RAM. Actually, I used the 2800 for him. And yeah, guys, many things can happen when you build a computer. It's not just plug and play. There's so many things that you have to do. You have to update the BIOS, you have to download your drivers. I mean, it's not as easy as I make it look on YouTube. I mean, look at this here. I know that I am not I don't have 20 years building computers. I know that for a fact. And I just made a new mistake. Dumbass. Everybody makes mistakes. So anyway, guys, technology is not perfect. Companies are not perfect. That motherboard was defective. So what I did, I returned the i7-4790K. And what I really want to talk to you guys about today is, if you're ready to build your first computer, be ready for issues. Be ready. Have that in mind. This little entrance right here, you see that little space? There's a little space on the motherboard as well. You have to align that together and insert it in place. There we go. Let's hear the click. Yum, that sounded delicious. Anyway, guys, so that's one of the things that you have to have in mind. So many things can go wrong. Like when I first my build computer, I don't know if any of you guys remember. When I first my ever gaming computer, I plug and play. I plug my RAM, my CPU, my powers, everything. Boom. I installed my games and I started gaming. I started having MicroStarter. So, it was a learning experience for me, honestly, guys. It was a learning experience for me. I wasn't ready to deal with any of the MicroStarter or troubleshooting or anything like that. I was not ready for that. I was expecting so much issues building a computer. But once you have it down, guys, it's just beautiful. It's a beauty to build a computer. And it's just amazing. But you have to be ready for headaches. You have to have a lot of patience. And that's something that I don't have. I don't have patience. Now this is funny. When it comes to computer building, I have to plug in a cable. I have to plug in the other cable. I have to route it. I have to take it to the back. I have to find the cable. And some people ask me, like some customers, when they come over to my house, they ask me, Sergio, how do you do it? Like you must have a lot of patience. You're good at it. And I answered to them, no, actually, this is more like a therapy to me because I do not have patience. I am a very impatient person. When something doesn't come my way, I get very upset. When I used to play Call of Duty back in, Black Ops 2 and yada yada, and the gameplay would not come my way, I would get very upset. Even you guys, gamers out there, you get very upset when you don't have anything and something doesn't come your way. The same is with the computers. You can be lucky. Boom, first hit, 4.6 gigahertz on your overclock, 1.25 volts. It all depends. Like I said, last week I built the customer computer using this motherboard, using this chipset, using this RAM. The computer first hit 4.6 gigahertz. 1.32 volts. Boom, good to go. Great temperatures, great performance. So I come over, I get my C97 motherboard, I put in my i7-4790K, I put in my 16 gigs of RAM. Boom, I'm happy, I'm excited, I'm ready to go. I get my Windows 10 installation, boom, 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 get it going, get the motherboard updated. And what happened? Bam, bad motherboard. The motherboard was unstable. My computer would not wake up from sleep mode. It became a freaking nightmare. Like, I troubleshoot the system for about, let's say, a whole complete day. You know, tweaking here, tweaking that, changing the bolts, overclocking it. I got that chip to overclock up to 4.8 with 4.8 gigahertz and with a voltage of 1.325. That's the highest that I took that chip, having it at 4.8, and it was very stable. I ran Ada64. I ran a couple of games. The computer performed very good. The problem came in when I put the computer to sleep. When I moved the mouse to wake it up, it would not come up on the screen. I would get nothing on the screen. So I said, it's my overclock. So I removed the overclock. I left it on the stock settings 4.0 with the turbo speed, of course, of the motherboard. And no, absolutely nothing. The computer, I would boot up and it would take me straight to a blank screen. Nothing on the monitor, nothing on the screen. It would not even tell me that I had a bad overclock. It would just not show anything on the screen. So I thought it was my graphics card. So I removed the graphics card and I plug it into the onboard graphics via HDMI. Nothing. So I plug it into the DVI. Nothing. No graphics whatsoever. So I said, then is a motherboard. So what I want to get in here, the main topic of this video, guys. And I'm sorry about the ambient sound. There's a whole bunch of sound out here. The dog is barking out there. There's construction across the street from my place. Yeah, so welcome to the sound. But the main thing that I want to tell you guys about today, and probably this is one of the most whack videos that I have released in 2015. Well, I have several. Anyway, guys, so this is Tech Talk. Be ready when you're building a computer. Technology is not perfect. Who knows? This motherboard is brand new. I unboxed it here for you guys. I did the talk over. I did the commentary over. Who knows if this is going to be another faulty motherboard, and I'm going to have to run back to Phrase Electronics and tell them, hey, this is another faulty motherboard. Guys, thank you for listening to me ramble about my issues here, but the main topic was, be ready to troubleshoot when you build a computer. There's so many things to do, and I have a video coming up that I'm working on it. What do you do after you set up your computer? After you build your computer, after you set up your computer? I have had this video requested several times. So I am going to do a Tech Talk number 10 or 11, and it's going to be what to do. Like, what are the steps to take when you build a computer. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Stay awesome. Stay beautiful like always. Bye bye.